The dog was already there before the sun came up, curled beside the cold metal bench, nose tucked into his tail. He looked like he belonged to the silence of early morning. The first bus hadn't arrived yet. The streetlights were still on. The air carried that quiet, empty feeling, like the world hadn't fully woken up. But he was awake, waiting. Every time headlights appeared in the distance, his head lifted. His ears stood up. His tail moved just a little. Hope. Then the bus passed, and the hope faded again. But he didn't leave. No one knew exactly when he started coming. Some said it had been days. Others said weeks. The woman who sold tea near the bus stop swore she had seen him there for over a month. He must belong to someone, she said one morning, pouring hot tea into plastic cups. Dogs don't wait like that for nothing. And she was right. Dogs don't wait like that for nothing. Before the waiting, there was a man. His name was Daniel. He wasn't special in the way the world notices. He didn't have money. He didn't have a big job. Most people wouldn't remember his face after passing him on the street. But to one dog, he was everything. Daniel found him on a rainy evening. The dog was small back then, wet, shivering, hiding under a broken bench near the same bus stop he would later return to. Daniel had just gotten off work, tired, quiet, the kind of tired that doesn't go away with sleep. He almost walked past. Almost. But then the dog made a sound. A soft, weak whimper. Daniel stopped. He looked down, and for a moment, it felt like they both saw something in each other. Something broken, something alone, something that needed saving. He sighed, rubbed the back of his neck, and said softly, "You're in trouble, huh?" The dog didn't move, just watched him. Daniel took off his jacket and slowly crouched down. "It's okay. I won't hurt you." It took time, a lot of time, but eventually the dog moved closer, and that's how it started. He named him Max, not because it was special, but because it felt right. Simple, strong, easy to say. Max, he would call, and the dog would come running like it was the best sound in the world. And maybe to Max it was. Life wasn't perfect. Daniel lived in a small one-room place, the kind where the walls were thin and the nights were long. But Max didn't care. To him, that room was home. Every morning, Daniel would wake up early. Max would already be waiting by the door, tail wagging, ready for their walk. They would go to the bus stop together. Every single day, Daniel would sit on the bench. Max would sit beside him, sometimes resting his head on Daniel's foot. People started recognizing them. "The quiet man and his dog," they would say. And for the first time in a long time, Daniel didn't feel invisible. But life doesn't stay still. It never does. One evening, Daniel didn't come home at the usual time. Max waited by the door. Hours passed. The sounds outside changed from busy traffic to distant silence. Max didn't sleep. He couldn't. Something felt wrong. That night, Daniel was at the hospital. A sharp pain in his chest had forced him to stop on his way home. He had tried to ignore it, tried to walk through it, but his body gave up, collapsed. Strangers had called for help, and just like that, everything changed. Max didn't understand hospitals. He didn't understand emergencies. He only understood one thing. Daniel didn't come home. The next morning, Max went to the bus stop. Alone, he sat in the exact same place, the same spot where Daniel used to sit, and he waited. At first, people didn't think much of it. Maybe the owner is late, someone said. But then the next day came, and the next, and the next. Max was always there, watching every bus, every face, every movement, hopping, waiting. The tea seller started leaving him scraps. A piece of bread, some leftovers. Poor thing, she whispered. He doesn't know. But what could she say? How do you explain to a dog that the person they love might never come back? Days turned into weeks. Max got thinner. His fur lost its shine. But his eyes never stopped searching. Every time a bus arrived, he stood up, tail wagging, heart ready. But what happened next changed everything. One afternoon, a man stepped off the bus. He wore a jacket that looked like Daniel. For a moment, Max froze. Then he ran. Fast, faster than anyone had ever seen him run. His tail wagging wildly, his body shaking with excitement. He jumped, he barked, he circled the man. Hope exploded inside him, but the man looked confused. Hey, calm down, he said, gently pushing Max away. Max stopped. He looked up. Something wasn't right. The smell was wrong. The voice was wrong. The eyes were wrong. The hope faded, slowly, painfully. Max stepped back, sat down, and watched as the man walked away. And just like that, hope broke again. He didn't know this would be the last time. At the hospital, Daniel was getting worse. His body was tired, too tired. The doctors tried. They really did. But sometimes, effort isn't enough. Sometimes, life slips away quietly, without asking, without warning. On a quiet morning, Daniel passed away. No family beside him. No familiar voice. Just machines. And silence. Back at the bus stop, Max waited. He didn't know. He couldn't know. To him, Daniel was just late. And late meant coming back eventually. Right. A young woman named Sarah noticed him one day. She had seen him before. Everyone had. But that day felt different. Max looked weaker, tired, still waiting, still hopping. She sat beside him, carefully. Hey, she said softly. Max looked at her. For a moment, something flickered in his eyes. Then it faded. He turned his head back toward the road. Waiting, Sarah asked around. The tea seller told her everything about Daniel, about the hospital, about the waiting. Sarah's heart sank. "That's heartbreaking," she whispered. The next day, she came back with food. Max ate, but slowly, like his heart wasn't in it. Because it was. His heart was somewhere else, still waiting for someone who wasn't coming. Days passed. Sarah kept coming, sitting beside him, talking to him, even when he didn't respond, even when he just stared at the road. Waiting. One evening, it rained. Hard, the kind of rain that soaks everything. The bus stop flooded. People ran for cover. But Max didn't move. He stayed, sitting in the rain, waiting. Sarah found him there, completely soaked, shivering, still watching the road. Something inside her broke. "You can't stay here anymore," she said, her voice shaking. "He's not coming back." Max didn't react, didn't understand, or maybe didn't want to. She gently reached for him. At first, he resisted, just a little, like moving would mean giving up, like leaving would mean accepting something he wasn't ready to accept. But he was weak, too weak, and slowly he let her as she carried him away from the bus stop. Max turned his head one last time, looking back at the place where hope lived, at the place where love used to be, at the place he believed his owner would return. The bus arrived. Doors opened. People stepped out, just like every day, just like always. But this time, Max wasn't there to see it. At Sarah's home, Max slowly recovered. Food, warmth, care, time, but something inside him had changed. He was quieter, gentler, like a part of him was still sitting at that bus stop, still waiting. One evening, Sarah sat beside him. "You loved him a lot, didn't you?" she whispered. Max rested his head on her lap. For the first time, his tail moved. Just a little. Love doesn't disappear, even when people do. It stays, in places, in memories, in quiet moments, in waiting. Sometimes, love waits at a bus stop long after the last bus has passed. And maybe, just maybe, that kind of love is the purest kind there is. If this story stayed with you, subscribe for more stories that feel real.